let's talk about choosing yourself. Have you ever had thoughts which you really wanted to do and then you just didn't do it? Like for days, for weeks, and then that positive thought, which was so exciting in the beginning, slowly started to add towards your self disappointment. Over time, when this happens so many times, you start to not believe yourself, you lose trust in yourself. So, I really want to talk about choosing yourself and making time for small shifts. But before I talk more about it, I want you to read this quote with me. Small actions repeated daily become a proof of who you are. So, breaking that small promise you made yourself yesterday doesn't feel really that big, right? We have all made those promises like, I will do 10 push ups tomorrow, but we never did that. And it doesn't feel like a big deal. And maybe it isn't, but when those promises keep adding on, it becomes your identity. Like, I promise myself things and then I just don't do it. So that makes you think that you actually cannot do it. Like, you are the type of person who doesn't do it. Eventually, your identity becomes of somebody who believes that it is very hard for them to try something new. The main comparison here is about staying the same and choosing the new identity, choosing yourself, which you actually want to become. So, your brain likes to think that either I have to stay the same or I have to do this one more thing which is difficult for me to do. But staying the same sounds really not that bad on paper, but what it comes with is a hidden toll. So that means that you're not really moving into that identity of yourself which you want to become, and you're staying in that identity of the person who doesn't do it. And that impacts everything you do. Now, let's quickly talk about how to get out from this situation. Okay, so for example, let's just say that you are in the situation where you don't trust yourself enough to take actions and you repeatedly break your promises. How to get out of there? So you have to stack up small wins. That has what's worked best for me. You have to take small steps and stack up small wins over time until that identity shift happens in your head and you start believing in yourself again. Yes, nothing happens overnight. So you have to give yourself enough evidence that you can do it, right? And that will happen with small wins. So you have to give yourself enough wins which stack up over time that you can rely on, basically. For me, going to the gym is a really good example because, I always wanted to get in shape, but I could never believe in myself that I could do it alone or that it is even possible to do in my timeline or whatever. Like, I just kept making excuses. But if you make it small enough, you can actually start stacking up small wins. For example, it could be just to check the price for the gym. Like, that's also an obstacle. Like, you don't know how much you need to pay. You need to go and do that today if you promise yourself that. Or it could be just doing that, taking out the 10 minutes from your life where you want to fit that physical activity in, right? You just can meditate for 10 minutes, doesn't matter. But that's the first step towards taking out time for a specific thing which you actually want to do. So, small steps do matter. Once you have enough evidence that you can do it, you will eventually get in the flow. And I want you to understand that this is not about just gym. Like, even in my case, it's not just about getting that aesthetic body, right? After achieving that, like after I made some progress, I slowly started going to the gym, and I was regular and I was consistent with it. When I started to see the progress physically, literally in my body, it gave me so much confidence to do other things in my life as well, because it was a living proof that I kept the promise I made to myself, that I did not give up, and that I actually did what I wanted to do, even though it was slow. And trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy to go every day and show up when you have to. So it's not easy, but what's more important is that you actually did it. Once you have that self trust that you actually did something difficult, then it boosts your self confidence in other parts of your life as well. It's amazing how that works, like you know a lot of things are really good for you, but you just don't choose yourself because of not believing in yourself. Finally, the truth is that even after you start doing these things, bad days will still happen. What matters more is consistency over time, not just one day where you couldn't do it, right? So it's better than just staying the same, because you're moving towards the identity which you want to carry. Once you start doing it, you become the person who does it and leave behind the person who wanted to do it. So when I went into the gym for the first time and I kept going for like a week, in my head I became the person who goes to the gym and not the person who thinks about going to the gym. That's a big identity shift here, which really matters. So I want you guys to do that one step which shifts your identity from somebody who thinks about doing it to the person who does it. And just make it small. Don't be too harsh on yourself. It could be just taking out time. Time is an important factor in everybody's life. So be mindful. For me, this video is really special because it's my first step towards recording myself and putting my thoughts out there, which I always wanted to do. And I did not imagine that it would be this difficult. Yeah, I had to retake so many times just to speak, just to sound like a normal person. And I'm still like super awkward in this video. I don't know, like, if you are seeing this, I don't know if this video will get released or not, but if you're seeing this, let me know what you think. And yeah, so this video is basically my small step towards the identity of someone who makes videos like this. So take your small step and choose yourself. I will be back next week, and please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks.